Slightly, we're about to find out, Ace.
We are, and we're going to find out on Chalet. The thing is, this game could be as important as any other that we're going to see tonight or this stage, Des, because we have to look further ahead. We can't always take these stage by stage by stage. Looking into stage 3 and the season as a whole, obviously the bottom 2 teams will be in relegation positions. One will be guaranteed, one will be a playoff position, but still, these are 2 teams that could be fighting their way out of those spots come the end. So if they end up scrapping against each other for points, a game like this could be super important. Thatcher and Zero coming in. I think that's Zero's first ban that he's seen.
Quite possibly. I don't think I've seen him banned any other time. I wonder if that's more towards a target ban or if it's just one of those, we know that it's strong and more teams are starting to play it, so we'll take it away. I think, for again, what they said on the desk was absolutely true. Secret haven't played this map. There is no history on there. unKnights have 1 map of history. And Packball continues to pull Clash bans. I don't know if it's because they see it as a clutch for him, or a crutch for him, sorry, that he has to lean back on, or that they just think he's genuinely that good on it. But when we have seen him play it, he is pretty good at it, Ace, to give him that much.
Very effective when used. We saw it brought earlier as well by Vitality. So, you know, there is the possibility there that unKnights just do not want to be playing against the Clash. They're going to be on defence to begin with, and they're going straight down to the basement, Des.
They are indeed. A site that we didn't see played once between G2 and Vitality. Neither team wanted to step in there. Considered quite unpopular. I don't know if it's a recent thing, and maybe you can shed some light on this one, Ace, but I understand this site had one of the lowest defensive win rates, so defenders would just avoid it. Play other sites in their entirety. But let's see how it stacks up for the side of the unKnights, the Orgless Org, or the Orgless team that we currently have here in EUL. Of course, looking for one, no doubt, in the coming months as well, ahead of Stage 3. So something to be looking forward to on the timeline is seeing their journey together, seeing whether or not they get the one that deserves these boys on side. Because, again, looking at players like Blaz especially, there is packed loads of talent on this team.
I think one of the problems with this side, when you look at it from a defender's perspective, is that you can be attacked from every side. And that's always a bit of an issue when you look at sides. Obviously, the breach at the south can be opened up. The wall at the north can be opened up. There's a wall on the east which can be breached. And then you've also got the blue corridor. So it's always going to be a tough site to defend because you don't necessarily know where the pressure's going to come. If you imagine, how often do the defenders win Church and Arsenal, for example, when there is presence in dirt, blue and at the bottom of main stairs? It's not too often because you just end up being pulled from pillar to post, and it is another one of those sites that can do that to you.
Knowing how aggressive unKnights like to be, I would really be surprised to not see them have a couple of players, if not 3, out on the roam here, looking to be problematic around the map for the side of Secret. There are 2 or 3 currently playing downstairs, and you can see the blue highlights on your screen. There are indeed 2 or 3 of them currently playing up on the top floor. Blaz was one of them. He has already been shut down here by Hive. A great first kill to get on a player that, again, we've heaped tons of praise on over the last few weeks.
Tough start for unKnights to take is that one, especially on the bottom floor site where they will be attacked from multiple angles. Manpower could be a decisive factor in this one, and they've already lost who could be one of their top fraggers in the game. As you say, we've heaped praise on Blaz, and taking him out is a great start for Secret. We have a little bit of a lull in the round as Secret just take stock, get the drones back out. We've got 3 out of 5 currently drawn in, just looking to gather information on the positions of the other unKnights players. Now, I don't think Voy has actually been picked up yet. Hive is going to head in through the window and down library stairs. Voy does potentially have an opportunity to move for a flank here at some point if he doesn't get picked up.
I do wonder if they ever thought to, leave one on the flank and catch potentially someone coming down those stairs, or if Secret just assumed, look, top floor's clear. We've done the hard work. We know that no one's going to come up from here. Oh, ha, ha. There was 2. One hanging by mezzanine, Sleben hanging inside a library, shutting down the second roamer of the round. So yes, unKnights are playing this aggressive game where they get out in the map and look to be disruptive. That has always been their style, no matter what team name they've been under. But Secret, at least for the start, have got them all figured out.
Packbull and Keenan just dipping back away from that Toxic Babe canister for the time being. Keoxys managing to find one onto Hive. Will be downed. Oh no, it's Noera who's downed in the meantime. Out goes the nade. He's going to have to dip away from that one, and Noera will be finished off by the nade. Keenan's going in to get the diffuser down. Keoxys with the second on the round onto Packbull. Shut down on a nice long angle from those library stairs, but it's Durza on the shotgun doing big work, but not big enough as Keenan manages to find that final kill, and with the diffuser down and activated, it's going to be Team Secret taking round 1.
I wonder if Keenan can turn into Secret's Brede today. Now, before you all laugh at me and just say, ha, anyone being like Brede, are you mad? These boys have had a couple of changes in terms of their lineup lately, and one of those was that Keenan moves over to playing originally on things like the Sledge. He became their flex player for the last couple of weeks. In this game, he's now on the hard support role, and where you used to have like Hive, for example, being the one on the flank watch. They've just rotated things around a couple of times here to get a feel for what's really going to work for them. I think it was Gonfi and Sleben were playing on the main entry roles for them. That's clearly changed a little bit here, where Sleben picking up things like the Floras is more going to be sitting, of course, on those boom bots for most of the round. And then as we step through the round, you'll see Hive start to get involved as the second entry for them here as well. So a couple of tweaks, still figuring out exactly where the boys want to sit with this one. Time will tell as things progress. We now move to the top floor. Master and Office going to be site number 2. We have that Aruni as well as the Goyo, the Wamai, the Jaeger. G-Ace, this really looks to me like a pretty defensive setup there, where they just want to hunker down and say, come and get me, boys.
Well, I think after the last round, it's no surprise. I mean, we got a very nice example there of exactly what we were talking about down on that bottom floor. We had the push coming in from the main breach. We had pressure from blue stairs, and that was only 2 of the angles that can be used, and already they were being turned inside out, inside a site. You imagine when you add a 3rd or a 4th to that, and that is why that bottom floor is so often ignored. This time, they're going to go to the complete opposite end of the map. They are up to Master and Office. Hive just being cautious over the potential spawn peak from Solarium there, and gets the big garage door open quickly for Gonfi to move straight in. And Secret, they're not messing about here when it comes to roamers. They're wanting to go on a complete full clear and make sure that everybody is pushed back to site or killed.
This could be one of those rounds where Packbull spends much of it in spawn, just droning his team in around the map. Sleben's doing much the same, but Durs is the first one to find it. Doesn't matter about the drone at your feet. If the guy's blasting your skull in, Durza, a 2K to start the round, and that is definitely going to put a dent in Secret sales.
Durza going big for unKnights so far. Keoxys gets in on the party as well. That's 3 kills apiece for them two. 6 inside 2 rounds, and it gives unKnights a great advantage. 5 versus 2 now. Packbull and Keenan, the only ones remaining. In fairness, they do have the utility that they might need. Packbull on the Maverick, Keenan on the Thermite. They've got smokes, they've got nades, they've got time, Des, plenty of it. They've got absolutely oodles of time to go at, but they need to find some kills. It is the one metric that they are missing.
I'm very confused as to why there are 2 drones in the back pocket of Keenan here. When it's like grey like this, it means they are in the back pocket. Packbull finds one. I think there's a couple more moving around here. They could potentially find out too, but I'd love to see those drones get inside the map, especially given Packbulls are dead. There may be 1 or 2 still sitting on those dead members of Secret. But, you know, they're the things that you can use here to really make a play happen. With Packbull potentially leading in and taking the shots, things could work out. I am quietly excited about what Keenan might be able to do here. He has been a very prolific fragger. Used to play for Matchco back in Challenger League. We saw what he could do there playing on more aggressive roles. Even though he's on support, let's maintain hope that he can do something in this round.
Packbull just moving to take the view through the soft wall, which has been breached by the defenders. I believe shut down by the Arune of Voy. And that brings us to a 1 versus 4. Keenan missing his shots onto Voy there. That was his opportunity. Bulletproof Cam absolutely lighting him up at the minute. They know exactly where Keenan is and what he's doing. He moves to pick up the diffuser. I'm sure he's going to be challenged by Voy again. Same angle, same outcome. Voy getting himself a double at the end to close out the round. And honestly, I think that's how we're going to see this game progress. 2 rounds in so far, 1 in either direction, and this is going to be a close one.
Just seems to be the map today. Competitive games between the 2 teams. It's what you want to see coming into it for sure. And that one was one of the early, the early disruptive rounds coming out of Durza. Often you'll say if a team ends up down to 5 versus 3, it's pretty much done. A 5 versus 2, if the side with the 5 is losing that round, then you're asking big questions. And even with the live droning coming in, Durza was just a little bit too snappy on those shots. Let's give round number 3 a go. Then Bar and Gaming we are going to step into. We'll see how this one plays out once things get underway.
So again, we can see unKnights dashing upstairs. The hold is going to be reasonably similar to the one we've just seen, where they were trying to hold on to Master and Office. They're going to try to keep Secret out of Library for the time being, but in order to do so, they are likely to play over in and around Piano and Master and Office. Just wants it in that little groove there, but can't quite get it spot on. No, he's just going to move away from that one. Reinforcing now Durza inside of Office. We can see the laser gate there positioned on the double door into Piano, laser gate on the balcony window. So it's all shaping up for a Master and Office sided hold. It just prevents the Library being able to be played until that's been cleared out, because you're just going to get hit on the flank.
I love how one of our friends on Twitter, Bruno, earlier was like, so how do you actually spell laser gates? And I was like, well, I spell it L-E-Y-S-E-R-G-E-Y-T-E-S. Laser gates. First time I've been asked that question. Some people say it and they're like, well, how do you actually say it? And I've seen several attempts, but I don't know. I mean, you're
quite like the original.
You're the one who coins it. How would you spell it?
I think you've got a fair spelling. L-E-Y-S-E-R. I think that's a fair...
Laser.
That's quite phonetic.
And then gates.
Works.
See people spell gates with a H. That was a strange one. Might blown his way through Snowmobile at least to start things off. Again, just being mindful of those potential roamers. We saw them deal with them excellently back in round 1, but were maybe a little bit too keen in round 2 to get themselves in the building nice and quick. And maybe with the drones going a little bit further ahead of the initial entry fraggers, things could have worked out slightly different. For the side of unKnights, you're seeing, again, Durza in the same spot here, lying inside of dining, just waiting to see if anyone comes pushing into West Main. And for Secret, it's not quite West Main, but they are going for a similar style. This is a little bit different, isn't it?
It is a little bit different and very interesting. Now then, that's going to open up an angle that could become pretty dangerous. Works in both directions, have to remember that.
I love that.
I
think that's actually genius.
I think we're going to see that used a little bit more often to deal with that tricky connector area, because, you know, how often do you see at the end of the round a defender playing out of connector trying to hold down the plant spot? It's, you know, it's quite frequent, and we never really see that reinforcement dealt with like that.
No.
Basically just removes the ability to play in that location. So, yeah,
exactly.
Very interesting.
And it's such a strong late round position, especially when there's, like, say, a mirror on side, which, of course, there isn't here. She's banned away, but still one to be conscious of. That's the angle we're speaking about there. Look straight through into split, which is, again, where defenders will play in the late round. Going to be a bit harder to do that. Keenan, the entry support, apparently collects Voy quite early into the round, collecting the support on the other side. The smoke player. Not really an engagement that you see at the start of the rounds, a thermite killing a smoke, but we'll take it. Blaz strikes back onto Gomfi. So now he's starting to warm himself up, get those barrels turning. We know exactly what Blaz can do on the right kind of day. Is down, though, to about 15 HP.
That's the problem for Blaz inside of this round. He's just going to have to dip back from the gunfights a little bit, probably just focus himself more on sight. He needs to hold on to Mezzanine for as long as possible, but he doesn't want to be throwing his life away. Keenan does manage to find the kill onto Noera. Good round for him so far. That's a double. 4 versus 3 now for Secret, but 34 seconds left to go. Chaoxis just waiting for that potential push in through the double window, but has the angle through the hatch up onto the double window of Library as well. So just trying to really prevent anybody from getting themselves established anywhere around that plant position. Packbull manages to find the kill, finishing off Blaz, and this is all going wrong now. Keenan, a triple on the round, goes in to get the diffuser down. Is there anything that the man can't do? Durza, he's going to take some big damage there. He's trying to fight his way back in, but it's probably too little too late as he finds himself 1 versus 4. Diffuser down on the ground and activated. He's taking the long fights for the time being, but he doesn't really have the weapon for it. The MPX will get kills with nothing but headshots. He manages to find 2, though. 1 versus 2, and he starts to close the range down a little bit. You start thinking this is a potential possibility for Durza here. Knows where the diffuser is, but Keenan, he's going to play himself around that corner until they hear the animation for the disable on the diffuser. The Forest drone is going in. The Rotero. Durza misses his shots there. Keenan manages to pick up that final kill as the challenge comes in outside, and that's going to be a great 4K round for Keenan, including a plant.
I'll keep on stressing it. The guy is playing support. Back on Matchco in Challenger League, he was a prolific gunner. You're seeing it now even from the support spot. He gets the entry against the enemy smoke, gets 4 kills, gets the plant down. Can you ask for any more from your support player? Probably not. Big round for Keenan, big round for Secret. With 3 sites done, we get to see the full rotation play out once again. My question is now, are we heading on to the downstairs? We'll see when this big, pretty opaque scoreboard is gone. It's going to be kitchen and dining then to start round 4. All right, let's see how things play out then. Durza stepping across onto the Kaid here rather than the Jaeger. So keen to see if he opts to play off site or just stays put. I imagine given it's the Kaid here, that's probably going to be intended to electrify either the wall that faces in towards lobby or the double wall upstairs above the site itself.
Again, very sort of static in terms of the defensive lineup. We've got the Frost brought along this time just to mix things up a little bit, but otherwise we're not seeing too much adaptation. Blaz just getting those Frost mats down, one on the double window, one on library stairs, and the final one will go in the little cubby of library there. So again, Secret need to be aware of that, but right now I feel like Secret are playing pretty sharp. I feel like they're on top of things. The droning has been good. They've been aware of where unKnights are setting themselves up. This was a beautiful kill. Like I'm saying, on the long range with the MPX like that, it's always going to be a struggle, but just finding a beautiful headshot and then one through the soft wall as well. Great play from Durza. He's had a great game so far for unKnights. We're 3 rounds in and he's going well.
They call it the P shooter, but P's connecting to a head still. Apparently nets a kill, so where are the complaints there? Absolutely. Well, electrification coming down onto the wall up here, as well as the one that leans out towards the left side down library corridor. So that was the answer to our earlier question for Durza as to where those electricals would get themselves set up. Overall, still great potential for roam from this team from unKnights, by the way, given that you've got the Aruni and the Jaeger. You might see them out in the map and trying to make things happen, as they tried in the first round and did get shut down, but then it worked when it was Durza doing exactly the same thing in round 2. So, mixed success so far. We'll keep an eye on it this round.
Blaz all the way up there on the top floor, just looking to hold down Master and Office. We spoke about this earlier, how important Master and Office is as an area on this site, not on this site, sorry, on this map as a whole. Obviously, it's a site in itself, but you saw it held last time around for bar and gaming. You see it held now for kitchen and dining. It is the primary location for the defenders to try and hold on to. Durza does well to keep that Rotero drone at bay, shuts it down before it can anchor and activate. That's going to keep the deployable shield in front of him, and it could be important. If anybody can hurt Secret so far, it certainly has been Durza. Now Sleben bounces around that corner, looking to support Packbull as he opens up the reinforcement. That's going to give the angle into Master and Office, but for the time being, Blaz is just holding himself around the corner near that office door, and he'll just keep himself locked in there for any challenge that comes from the double window, or alternatively, if they do try to push into that room.
And quite easy to get that wall opened up and some pressure coming in downstairs. I think for Secret at the least they're aware of potential, C4s coming up as they assume control on the top floor. And here's Packbull going Rambo, lay down on the ground, frag grenade in hand, hoping to find someone inside of dining. The shield will be all that he connects onto as there is not a player hanging behind it. The side of unKnights playing pretty passive right now and holding themselves back.
That should be enough from Packbull to clear that shield out. He'll be happy with that. Noera opens one up onto Highflow and Blaz goes big with the second onto Sleben. And that is going to bring us now to 5 versus 3. unKnights having a great round and it's easily done. Gomfy finds his leg snapped shut inside of that bear trap. The frost mat grabs its victim. He will be collected, but will leave himself on 20 HP. And I guarantee he was walking down those stairs in ADS.
Yeah. I mean, it blends in pretty well to the colour of the floor. It's also grey, so look, these things happen. It's why if you see someone sticking one on the stairway, you know what the likelihood plan is going to be. In they walk, everybody's dead except for Keen. He's going, guys, what's happening? I'm in a 1 versus 5, and unfortunately, buddy, there is no win to be found in this round. unKnights take a flawless.
Great comeback from them, and this is bouncing backwards and forwards. Neither team able to secure more than 1 round in a row so far. It is back and forth, and I genuinely do think we're going to see this continue all the way for the 12 rounds. Whether that will leave us with a 7-5 winner or overtime, we will see when the time comes around, but right now there is absolutely no advantage to be found on defence or attack. We're heading in towards round 5. unKnights have 2 defensive rounds left. They're going to head to Master and Bedroom this time. Sorry, Master and Office. It was somewhere that they went in round 2 and got it locked down. So this could be the first time that we see somebody get 2 rounds in a row.
Possibly. I think the real telling thing in this game so far has been consistency, where we go from 1 round where it's flawless to the defenders, they're playing their own game fantastic, and the next they're basically getting counter flawless. And consistency is the big issue that we see in a lot of teams, I think, in EUL, at least those that are hanging towards the bottom side of the table. Is some weeks cool, like you genuinely look like a good team, maybe not quite enough to get the result, but you look solid. And the next it's back to being a little bit of a messy state of affairs where you're not quite sure what your identity is, who's playing what role, and it's why you see teams like Secret making changes mid-stages, because they know what they had before wasn't quite working out for them. So inconsistent throughout the season, inconsistent rounds in the game itself, just goes to show that there's still a bit of work to do maybe for both sides.
Durza playing the Kaid once again. It's certainly been his favoured op so far on Chalet. Very useful, of course, just using those electricals to electrify the walls primarily here on Chalet. There's not too many hatches that tend to be defended like that,
no.
But it is about locking down those walls and not allowing attackers to create those long lines of sight that they're always looking for. And on Chalet, the hard breach is very much about points of entry as well. It is about finding ways to aggress into sites and into key areas.
You can see now we've got the 2 drone works going on from Sleben and from Keenan. Packball 2 joining the fray, and that seems to have been our theme for the day, isn't it? About that 45-second mark into the round, 2 or 3 players on drones, just helping the entries gain ground quite early and quite quickly. And then they get onto the drones to enable their support players to then play catch-up not too long after. Looks like this war of top floor is going to be where things kick off at the very least. Library starting things out, so rather than looking to play below, for the side of Secret, it's going to be going pretty direct. Drone comes out, and now that they will know, Blaz is going to have to back himself away and didn't even get the drone for his troubles. So, caught out, exposed by Keenan, and now has to get himself away to safety.
That's it, and it's a smart move. Keep yourself alive, keep yourself fighting later into the round. Don't go throwing it away. Blaz has moved underneath, and progress starts to come in for Team Secret now as we hear that Rotero drone just anchoring and detonating there, so that's going to be some utility cleared out. Packball once again working on that balcony wall to try and open and give access into Master, but this is where it all went wrong. If you remember last time, Des, just as that wall got open, not long after that we started seeing bodies dropping, and unKnights got themselves a good advantage.
I'm pretty sure that's client side, by the way, so it should be opened up. You'll probably find someone running through it in a bit and it'll look a little bit strange, but bear with it for now. We'll see how things shape out. Sleben's moved away from getting these Roteros down into, I was about to say from going into piano, maybe looking to go inside of office, and he will do just that. She just skips it across. They've managed to force the player out of piano as well, so just like in the G2 Vitality game earlier, it's about forcing the defenders back one little baby step at a time until you feel you can take the right amount of ground. But no one playing on the downstairs will probably not be able to catch out Durza, who's lurking below with a C4, and you've got Blaz, who's still up to his usual tricks.
Secret in position now to be able to attempt getting this diffuser down, but there's several key factors that they haven't taken into account. Durza underneath and Blaz even further down in basement. Both could come back to bite them. Keenan goes in to make an attempt, and Durza's not going to be able to challenge onto this. Des Packbull and Sleben get themselves one each. Gomfy joins in. 5 versus 2. Diffuser activated. It all falls apart for unKnights. You felt like they had some sort of system, some sort of strategy in place there, ready to bite back, but absolutely not. Secret completely nullifying them there. There was nothing that unKnights could do about that diffuser going down. Out comes the Toxic Babe canister from Void, but you feel it's a little too late there as the man moves away from piano, manages to survive, and this is all but done here as unKnights have got about 8 seconds left to get 4 kills if they want to be able to deactivate this diffuser that's on the ground. Void moving round up to mezzanine. That's the round done. It is too late now, not enough time. This is all about just saving a little bit of KD. Packball shuts down Void. Last man alive is Durza, and that is going to be the end of round 5. A great attack from Team Secret there. Just got access to where they needed, had everybody locked back, and just created a really safe space for Keenan to put that diffuser down.
Absolutely. That was the kind of team play that you've been looking to see from a team like Secret for a while now as well. Not that they haven't showed it before, but that was one of the cleanest examples of it. A team like unKnights that normally is quite chaotic, quite aggressive around the map, always looking to get up in your face. We have Blaz trying to do just that, constantly droned out, constantly controlled, with the flanks being watched by the members of Secret, cannot get himself involved in the round, and ultimately his impact simply did not exist. And the same as when we saw again in the G2 Vitality game, it was kind of like a territorial war, where the war line was very slowly being moved further and further north until unKnights simply could not contest inside of office. Really well structured by the side of Secret. We see that again. They will end this half at 4-2, but as always, unKnights will be the ones looking to get a bit more aggressive maybe and shut down those plans early in the round.
Well, the problem for unKnights now is that they're heading back to bar and game. They played this back in round 3. Team Secret were able to get the win. Keenan getting the diffuser down, getting a 4K on the round as well. Great round from him. And Secret, they're going to be hoping for more of the same, I'm sure. If they can get this locked down and go 4-2 on the attack, you start looking at it and thinking, yeah, you know, Team Secret have got some momentum here and they can just keep this ball rolling. But unKnights, they're going to have something to say about it if they can before it gets to that point. So round 6, we've got the connector wall reinforced once again. We'll see if that's something that Packball tries to get in and do. The thing is, unKnights can counter that this time. They know that it's something that Secret tried to do, open that little Maverick line at the bottom of the reinforcement and prevent them playing in there. So there's only one place that can be open from, and it's from those basement stairs up into Fireplace. So if you keep an eye on that, if they can keep a man trying to lock that down, they might well just find themselves with a nice easy kill onto Packbull.
Well, Packbull's the one looking to definitely try and get it open, given how much impact. I didn't really have like a massive impact in the last round, but just because you didn't see a kill happen there doesn't mean it didn't have an impact, because no one on the side of unKnights then played inside a split. They just opted to play upstairs around the map, not being so static. And speaking of which, Gonfi with a great nade onto Chaoxis, who was left relatively static there. Good opening kill onto the Goyo. That'll be a C4 removed from the team as well, the only one they held in the round.
You just feel like the tide is starting to turn in Team Secret's favour here. Each of them kills, each of those nades just seeming to land a little bit sweeter and a little bit more in their favour. They've got access to Library now if they want it. They need to move Blaz on. He's playing on the mezzanine at the minute. Durza looking for a run out, and what a view. He gets onto Packbull, finds a headshot and shuts down the Maverick.
Not seen that before either. An impact onto the big garage door, the run out up and looking at the roof, or onto the window that we see so much pressure piled on. It's a really smart idea when you just put it that simply. Why wouldn't you try and stage a run out onto players staring at that window from the roofs on either side? Good start to bring things back up to a 4 versus 4, and we're down to that halfway mark. 90 seconds in. The Secret take another brief moment to pause here. Get some more drones out as well. Collect the information they need. Blaz, I don't think has moved now for about 60 seconds.
That's what I like about Team Secret, Des. You hit the nail on the head for me there, is that they take these pushes, they get these kills, and then they just settle down a little bit. Let's take our time. Let's get that information again. Let's think about how this plan is working out. Nice kill onto Durza there for Hive. That's going to give them the man advantage 4 versus 3. A minute 5 left to go, so plenty of time left on the clock. And now it's thinking about, right, let's clear that last line of utility. Let's move defenders around. Another roll for the Rotero drone there, just forcing Voy out of position. Keenan gets in, starts to put the diffuser down. Almost certainly going to be successful again. Blaz finds a kill onto Hive on the top floor. Keenan gets one on his way out. And now in a 2 versus 2, diffuser down. Great play from Secret.
This should be it now as well. With them being able to get outside the map like this, 2 players hanging outside, the best they can probably hope for is a jump out onto the balconies. There is a player here on the rappel. They spot him, and that's the freest kill they'll ever find. They've also got Sleben down, and they've lost it. That should be it. unKnights can get the defuse off here. They also don't know. I don't think that Sleben is down, but they're going to stick it anyway and get away with this one. As simple as that. Sleben and Gonfi, the duo that we all know and love, not quite able to pull it off in round number 6, and we end the half at 3-3.
They have got away with one there of unKnights. There's no two ways about it. Keenan able to get Voy just after he'd got that diffuser down, looked to get outside of the map, and as you say, in a 2 versus 2 diffuser on the ground and both attackers outside of the map, you really would be favouring them to be able to get the line over the... to get the round over the line, sorry, and they just weren't able there. It was a great fight back from unKnights on the defence, and that puts them across onto the attack. And just like we saw in the G2 Vitality game, there's absolutely nothing to separate defence and attack here. 3-3 at the half, and it'll be fascinating to see if this second half goes 3-3 and goes to overtime again. You're seeing Chalet actually playing in an extremely balanced manner today.
Absolutely, and I do want to touch on before I mention the Amaru as well at the end there. Like, they knew that Blaz had just killed a player at the top of lobby stairs, so surely you have the inkling of, oh, maybe someone pushes us through lobby. Maybe they were watching the wrong window and didn't expect someone to come jumping out the south window to run to the end of the balcony. It happens. It's one of them ones you look back on and just think, oh man, if we're watching a different window, that round could have gone very differently. 3-3 it's going to be. Now we can talk about the Amaru. For those who are unfamiliar with unKnights, prior known as Trainhard, before that known as Tempera, before that Easy Dream, they are one of the more creative teams that we've seen. They popularized for a short while at least, using things like the Amaru on Consulate to get up through the piano hatch to go for a plant just inside a console. They completely left G2 in the dirt on Oregon, getting the Amaru in through Kid's window after G2 had been baited out towards Trophy and Attic by a Niana. They are really creative at using this operator, so I'm kind of keen to see what the game plan is here. I can imagine what it is, given there's an Amaru and there's a big double window with Durza's name on it. We'll see, though, if it works out for them and whether or not they just choose to go Hail Mary and say, that's it, we're in. Let's see what happens next.
Durza opening the double window up for Voy there, who's on the upside down rappel, so that still leaves the question of exactly where that Amaru is going to be used. Now, we have seen the Amaru used later in the round sometimes. There's, of course, it's not expected necessarily, but if you hear the noise, particularly at the beginning of the round, the defenders tend to be very good at reacting to it because they realise what's going on. If you wait for that last 20-second firefight to be going down and then Amaru zips in through a window, it's almost always missed, and she's going to get kills because there's just too much other stuff going on. Right now, Durza down in the basement, just looking for angles up into Trophy there. We'll see whether that Gara hook is going to play a factor later on in this round.
They've got themselves some options because Blaz can play underneath and remove those electro claws, for example. Then Noara can rock up onto the office wall, open it up, and it's like playing a standard attacking round. Smoke comes out, though, so they've been just spraying through because, of course, they don't know at this point exactly what the game plan is. Chaoxis put down at least, but not yet finished off. Everyone starts firing off because that smoke just raises anticipation. There's an assault coming in. Noara picking up Sleben as the first one in the round. A temporary 4 versus 4 until Chaoxis gets revived. If he does it all, he is indeed still outside the map, so not quite sure anyone will really scramble to res him up just yet. I thought they would do at some point, but time will tell. Gomfi finding one on the fadeaway as he steps back out into the main corridor. And Voy, like the good teammate he is, going to res his boy Chaoxis back up.
Really nice spray down from Gomfi there to take Blaz off the board. 4 versus 4, Chaoxis on 20 health, and a little bit of a impasse reached there with the attempt from unKnights to get themselves established inside of Trophy. It hasn't really gained them too much at this point in time. Chaoxis just taking the long line of sight in through that bathroom window, but nobody's going to be challenging onto that at this late stage in the round, I wouldn't expect, so it's time for him to get himself up that ladder now. Out comes the Gara hook again to just allow Durza to move up quickly onto bathroom window. I'm not sure how free he can get inside of here without being challenged. You can see he's putting some shots in through the soft wall. A Nitro attempt in the meanwhile is unsuccessful as well. 30 seconds left to go, and unKnights, they need to get moving. They can't find it.
They don't know where it is. Yeah, they can't spray it off here. That needs to be gone or they can't get this wall open. There we go. Finally shot up by the Gon 6. The wall can now be opened up. Noara needs to win the gunfight against Patball, mind you. That's the big one to watch. A team kill comes in. Oh, no. Chaox is going down as Voy was trying to assist his teammate from the side. High finds Durza. Noara is going for the plant. Patball finds one. There's one man left alive here. It is Voy in a 1 versus 2 with 5 seconds to play. Easy clean up there for Keenan. Secret taking round number 7.
The question now, of course, is are we going to see this continue for Team Secret? That's the first defensive round that they've had. We've had the switch of halves. Through the first half, it was 3-0. We had neither team being able to take advantage. It actually bounced backwards and forwards, with Secret taking the first round, unKnights the second, and then so on and so forth until we found ourselves at 3-0. Secret come in with their first defensive round. They have an opportunity now to double down, take round 8, and that'll be the first time that a team have been able to get rounds back to back, and it'll put the pressure on unKnights. Secret cannot overstate how important this next round is.
The thing is, we've said that several times throughout this map now. It feels like it's the go-to storyline for either side. Oh, you got the round. Now can we see it snowball into the second? No. Falls against you. It's the way it's kind of played out so far. Although to give it to Secret, well, I guess no, they haven't actually. I was about to say they maybe snowballed the ending of round 6 and round 7 together.
If this one comes off, the big difference with it here is the fact that it's the first time Secret have been on defense. You've had that role swap. So are we going to see unKnights able to win attacks just like Secret did? Yeah. Or at that point you start thinking this is probably going to be a landslide now because they've got that momentum they need. They've got the switch sides and it just needed Secret to get onto defense. So it is going to be a fascinating round.
What I do want to raise here is the two operators that you never really see paired together. They're kind of seen as alternatives, the Alibi and the Frost. Now they've of course both got shields, not one being brought along by Hive is playing with the impacts instead, but commonly you see one used over the other because, you know, decent primary, for example, the Storm plus the C1 from the Frost. You got the shotgun, well, Bailiff for secondary in the case of the Alibi, I guess. She is a 3-speed, both have shields, and most often I'd say you're going to see the Frost gadget being more useful than the Alibi decoys, but hey, that is what it is. But it's interesting seeing them both being brought along at the same time here. Again, that's not really something that we've seen historically.
Voy, he's going to come head-to-head with somebody in a second. Absolutely unaware of Gomfi's location, who finds the headshot with the SMG and puts Voy in the dirt for round 8. Secret, they're starting to look good on defence. They're starting to win more and more of those gunfights. And this is starting to feel harder and harder work for unKnights right now. Chaoxis looking to move up those library stairs and to join Blaz, the man that's already at the halfway level on the Twitch. But unKnights, they need to start finding themselves some kills on the attack here because otherwise the confidence is going to be sapped away. I was going to say that was a little bit of maybe an overuse of the Gara hook there, Des. It was trying to go about 4 paces.
Still trying to make things happen, though. Keenan, by the way, worth noting, off the supportive roles here, playing on the Jaegers, looking to get a bit more aggressive around the map, potentially, and start shining the splitting responsibilities here, Aces. I imagine he does want to get out and get fragging at some point, too. 4 versus 3 and 90 seconds still to play. The rounds are kind of moving very fast. Durza finding one back on the other side. Halfway in, we've already seen 4 members dead.
Durza's had a great game so far, and it's continuing, even with him on the attack. There he goes again, shutting down Sleben with a headshot. He is almost single-handedly keeping unKnights in this one at the moment over the last couple of rounds. Chaoxis, another one who's done a great job, finds a good kill onto Hyphen. I think this answers the question, Des. This one is likely to continue to bounce back and forward until we find ourselves potentially at 6-0 and an overtime. Packbull just looking to hold down that angle. In comes the nade, clears out the Prisma. He is between a rock and a hard place here. The pressure is mounting. He's looking to get aggressive, changes location, finds the first headshot onto the Maverick of Chaoxis.
Nearly got him.
Diffuser's down. Collected though. They're going to try the plant. Packbull tries to move around. He knows Durza's playing on his hard left. Can he make the shots? No, but he's going to go through. He's going to stop the plant, but the call comes in time for Blaz to get off the diffuser and find the kill onto Packbull. Great effort from him. But it's going to be unKnights who put round 8 on the board, 4-4, and this merry-go-round continues.
1-1, 1-1, 1-1-1. No streaks in terms of round wins for either side so far. It is literally going back and forth. A little bit crazy to say that. I got to touch on Void at the very start of that round. Crouch walking into West Main and then gets peeked from Trophy and killed for free. My immediate thought was, where are the drones? You guys have got intel and information, but your man's walking in, Crouch walk here from 2 different directions, potentially being shot at, with 0 information as to where the defenders actually were. And I don't know if that was part of the plan. Is Diana catches someone off guard? She hasn't got any resources to support her, except for herself, of course. Therefore, we'll just hope for the best. But those are small things that you can't really be giving away like that. Only for Secret, later in the round, to take 3 separate 1v1s, 2 of them against Durza, lose all 3, and see the early advantage they had gained by bringing down Void, completely neutralised, and then lose the round. It is one of them things, again, where consistency is an issue between both of these teams, where it can be so wildly variable between rounds that I really want to see them find that form that keeps them, you know, winning rounds back-to-back, not 1 for 1 for 1 for 1 constantly, but it's a real war between both teams to see who can establish that first.
Keenan just going to be playing in behind the shield on top of Piano there, likely, unless it's going to be somebody else in that position. But we've seen how important that deployable shield can be. It's been utilised a number of times tonight and will continue to be so, I've absolutely no doubt. We've got a lot of utility being placed around there, Des. There's an ADS, there's multiple magnets. They really are doing everything they can to keep somebody locked in that Piano position. They are, of course, defending Kitchen. It is directly above the Kitchen. They want to keep that soft floor closed.
Do indeed. Let's see as to whether or not they can use the Amaru in the way that maybe we intended previously. I know they keep on looking at the window.
I keep thinking, go on, Durza, go on.
Everyone wants him to do it, but he's like, look, I know I'm a little bit crazy sometimes. I'm not that crazy. You go in there, chances are you're getting shot from someone behind the bed. There's someone in office. Even Piano could come and contest you. And your entry isn't exactly quiet with that gyro hook. It's a bit of a noisy bugger.
No, I mean, they changed the animation of it recently, so it used to be a bit easier to deal with because you'd hear the zip before anybody came in through the window, whereas they've just changed the point that that sound is activated. It's going to be irrelevant now as Hive gives Durza the spray down there, finding the headshot and shutting him out of the round. That's going to be advantage Team Secret 5 versus 4, and it could be a big loss, not in terms of the operator necessarily, but the fact that Durza has been playing so well so far. And just to finish what I was saying, the animation isn't at door. The sound trigger is later now. It's just after you've come in through the window.
Yeah, and you obviously get your gun ready far faster than you used to before.
So it just makes her a little bit more
What was that
usable.
game mode we used to play? And you would always wait on the top floor for an Amaru to come zip and you'd be like, look, freest kill of my life.
Oh, that was the stadium special event for SI.
No. It was the soft floor ones, the Peaky Blinders theme one.
Oh, yeah, that was... I can't remember what it was called. It was on Hereford base. It was on the old...
and you would always just be like, right, watch this, freest kill of my life. There's someone coming, you killed him. Like, see, told you, freest kill of my life.
Every single time. It was both. It was the stadium as well, the new border window, the armory window on border. Everybody wanted to get in through there on stadium.
It's one of those. Well, we could see at least for unKnights when Blaz started pushing on the downstairs, he did pause and get on his drone to try and find the roamer. But I guess the issue is always you don't want to spend 2-3 minutes trying to hunt down these roamers, else you'll never get anything done in the round. Hyper's managed to snake its way out after getting that opening kill. Has now got himself inside a mud. And I don't think the side of unKnights seem to know where he is just now. They've got an idea as the angle is being watched. And here we go. One comes in. Can he find the second? No, he can't. Does get traded out by Voy. But 2 kills in the round for Hype. It's a great way to put a dent into unKnights' plans.
Certainly is. 3 versus 4 now. unKnights, they've got to start thinking fast. 30 seconds left to go. Nowhere near the amount of access that they might like here. Noera goes to open the wall, and that's a big kill from Blaz using the F2 to put Sleben down. Headshot it will be, and 3 versus 3. Noera has access to the plant spot now, I believe, but there's a problem because there's a man above for Team Secret. Packbull managing to use the SMG to find the kill onto Blaz. 3 versus 2. 10 seconds left to go. It's all down to this. Secret are looking good right now. Voy finds one, but surely impactless as he has 2 more to find. The hatch is closed. The diffuser's down. There's nothing that Voy can do other than watch on in agony as the round ticks away and the opportunity slips through his fingers. And Team Secret, they take another one and now lead 5-4.
I mean, let's say, we'll hold that thought for now. If they can get themselves to 6-4, then it's time to be jubilant. But given historical evidence, 5-5 is going to be...
This is going to be 5-5.
Exactly, yeah. You can't get too excited just yet. But I will again give some credence to, or some credit, sorry, to Secret there. Hype out on the roam especially, gets that early kill, bolts, disappears, even with drones coming in, still not being found, and gets himself inside of mud. Again, you'll probably press the question on the side of unKnights, as I did in the prior round, where are the drones in that case? You're checking out mud anyway, but you're peeking it assuming the guy's going to be holding near the window. You know he's not out the window, so why aren't you looking, you know, close rather than out towards the window where the defender is most definitely not going to be? 2 kills for him, does get traded out, and even when things looked like they were going slightly right for them, they had to send Voy upstairs to go and try and clear Keenan out, leaving 2 to go for the push. You're in numbers disadvantage against the smoke with very little time left because you spent 2 minutes trying to hunt down Aroma. Beautifully played by Secret, very composed. Sure, quite scary towards the end as they lost a couple of gunfights, but ultimately a much more superior round from them compared to what we saw from unKnights.
Definitely impressive. So round number 10, Secret's opportunity to get themselves onto match point. I'm not going to say that this is a pivotal round once again. I tried that back in round 8 and it didn't pan out too well. We just went level again. But Secret, I am sure, will be desperate for the opportunity to have that extra bite of the cherry, that extra life that this will afford them. If they can get this round 6-4, they get 2 opportunities to close it out in regulation and get those full 3 points. As Hap was saying, Des, if Secret can lock down 9 points, depending what happens with Na'Vi, there's a chance. It may be slim, but there's a chance.
So you're saying there's a chance? No, absolutely. I mean, we spoke about the percentages at the start of the day. They're quite slim for these guys at the bottom. But you just never know. We've seen craziness happen. The top 4 is incredibly tight right now. We thought it might be Vitality that could make the kind of miracle run and get themselves there. With the point they picked up earlier, it's still a possibility. G2 haven't yet locked in that spot, and we've still got 2 play days to go. That's the craziest part.
I think, as I said, really, you know, rather than looking at the Mexican Major for Team Secret here, it's much more about that season overall and the survival, and 3 points could be a decisive factor come the end of Stage 3. So this is a big round for them to try and lock down and get as many points on the board as they can. Packbull just opening up some vertical angles there. He's not going to have an opportunity to spray anybody down just yet, but it may well come if his patience remains. Noera's going to get himself up onto the Solarium rappel for the time being. We are, of course, attacking into Master Bedroom here. Packbull needs to be careful. He's holding the angle down onto Trophy Window, but he could find himself pressured by Noera if he steps himself a little bit too far forward.
I do want to touch on those overall standings, by the way, for those that might be curious. Secret are currently in the auto-relegation spot, 10th place with 12 points. unKnights are in 9th above them, where they'd have to face the 2nd place CL team. They've got 14 points. Rogue are in 8th with 17 points. And then we get towards more normality for everyone else, generally between 20 and 35 points across the board. So you look at this game now, this could actually be one of those games that if Secret get the big 3 points, that will move unKnights into 10th place. And I know it's very early to start talking about it. These 3 points could mean everything come the end of Stage 3.
That's it. The reality is, right now, as of today, it is the difference between auto-relegated and playoff relegations. You know, it is a big difference, and it will continue to happen through the next sort of 10 or so play days as we get towards the end of Stage 3, but it could come all the way back to one of these results. We see Chaoxis and Gomfe both losing their lives, not particularly in the early round. We're nearly at the end of it, coming in to the final 30 seconds now, and unKnights just just not really in a position here, you don't feel, to start pressuring onto site, to start even thinking about the opportunity to get a diffuser down. Voi's going to get himself onto the double window repel. I think Packbull had maybe found himself getting a little bit too comfortable there, and so manages to keep himself alive somehow. He's being pressured from every angle. I don't know how he's survived for as long as he has, but he's burnt some time. 12 seconds left to go. 2 men down. Voy and Durs are the only ones left. 2 versus 2, 5 seconds. 3 versus 1. Hive, can he close this out? He needs to get these kills. Just needs to lift the diffusers down somehow. Hive locks it down, and that is the hero. Hive is the hero that Secret needed here on Chalet.
I mean, a 3K to win, you'd probably say the clock was his ally there as well as it hit 0 seconds. Diffuser was not possessed by the side of unKnights. And, well, they had to go for the kill. They knew where he was, but just couldn't quite get away with it. Really unfortunate, but that is the curse broken. That constant 1 for 1 for 1 for 1 for 1 has been shattered. Secret at 6 and 4. They could do this.
unKnights have taken the tactical timeout, obviously just to try and give themselves an opportunity for a breather and to see exactly what's gone wrong in those last couple of rounds. But as you say, Team Secret, that was a big round for them.
Massive.
Big round, because it gives them 2 opportunities now. They've got breathing space. They're not coming into that match point thinking there's no mistakes here. You know, there's no room for errors. We've got to get this done. It just alleviates a lot of that pressure. They can maybe come in, play a little bit freer. They've been doing very well the last couple of rounds. Rinse and repeat, more of that. I mean, unKnights, they were down to 20 seconds before they even really pushed onto site there. Packbull somehow burnt about 30 seconds out of the closet there. Who knows how?
Honestly, he was taking grenades, shotgun shells, and the man was still like, and what? I'm still here to fight, until, you know, they actually had to round the corner and actually blast him. Yeah, it was great.
It was certainly something to watch. So we're going to head back in. It's going to be round 11. Sorry, round 11. 6-4 in favour of Team Secret right now. They've got one more round. One more round to get this closed out, and it could mean the world to them. Not just in Stage 2, but in the overall season as well.
You know, it really won't mean anything for your predictions. You'll be 3 and 5 today if Secret win this.
Leave it alone.
I'll be 5 and 5 today, mate.
Leave it alone.
You know when you jumped over me like 2 or 3 weeks ago?
Yeah.
Well, back to the reverse today, mate.
Right, where are we defending? We're going to be defending bar and game. That's going to be the battleground where Team Secret try to lock things down here. You can feel the tension inside of the server. You can feel how much both of these teams have wanted this result. They've absolutely left nothing at home here. They've brought absolutely everything to this fight, to this matchup, to try and take it over the line. And I wouldn't put it past unKnights to take us all the way to 12. We're just getting to see that brilliant 1 versus 3. Effectively 1 versus 2. There was 1 man already down, but I'm not taking anything away from Hive's accomplishment there.
He downed Noera when they were the final 3.
Yeah, he'd already downed Noera. He just needed to keep himself alive, but he didn't have an option. He was in office. He had 1 pushing from either side. There was no way for him to get out of there except to fight his way out. It was a brilliant finish from Hive.
It was. And I mean, looking back at it there, Noera was the one who had the diffuser pushing in from the north side, and Hive must have got the thinnest of angles onto him as he tried to push into Master, sorry. And then to get those closing 2 kills to secure the round, mega. Again, could be one of those difference-making moments, as we've seen a couple of times today. I love those really, like, they're not even obscure at this point. They're
not
like,
even trying to hide them anymore.
This is literally called hiding in plain sight. Yep. Like, anyone walks in that room and you don't see that because you're so busy focused on an angle somewhere, you are going to kick yourself if you walk into that. It's a way to shatter someone's mental, and how Durza is shattering skulls for Secret. Hive, Gomfi, both removed from the field, 5 versus 3.
Well, that is the hero. Hive downed and out for this round. There will be no rescues for Team Secret from him this time, as it is 5 versus 3. But unKnights need to not take their foot off the gas now. Keep that pressure applied to Secret. Keep pushing. Keep moving towards site. Don't let them settle back in. They still have 3 men alive. They can still hold angles and they can still burn time. There's 1 minute 30 left to go. There's no excuses for unKnights here not to get this one on the board.
They're still playing it by the book, being really careful. I don't mean the book as in, you know, the book, the operator they've got inside. More playing it by the book. B-O-O-K. I'm aware it sounds the same in my accent, but whatever. They're playing it sensibly. Getting the drones in, pushing out the top floor, opening up verticals, no doubt, in about 30 seconds time or so. And Secret are playing relatively defensively. Understandably so. You're down in numbers. You've still got a C4 on side to play with. And there's the off chance that indeed someone does walk into one of those frost mats. There's still a lot to play for. They want to close this out here and now. You do not want to see this game go to overtime if your Secret. I know there's still another round to play out, but you just don't want to chance it at this point by letting it go to round 12.
Keenan decides that he's had quite enough of Library Stairs, but no, he comes back for seconds, and he's going to find one on Tavoy with a headshot. 4 versus 3, Secret fighting back right now, saying this is going to be over if we have anything to do with it. Now, Blas holding an angle towards Library there, but doesn't really need to hold that for the time being. Here goes Durza. Up he pops. Shut down by Packbull. Well aware. 3v3. 3v2. Packbull gets himself a second. 30 seconds. Surely not. Secret fighting back from 3v5. Now have the man advantage. Nuera finds Packbull. This is absolutely anybody's. 24 seconds left to go. Diffuser is in the hands of Nuera. Sleben on low health. This could go absolutely anywhere.
Stairs as well coming down there. There's one on the lower. Well, they know he's down here as well, but takes the gunfight. Wins the one. It's into the 1 versus 1. Chaoxys, Sleben about 1 bullet from death. Can Chaoxys keep it going on? He knows the man's in split, the grenade in hand. It comes out, but Sleben peaks at the perfect time. Hits the shot. Secret find that much needed win. They get the 3 points and they jump over unKnights in our total EUL standings.
Unbelievable finish there. Chaoxys going for the what seemed safer option of just dumping a nade into the split there, but couldn't do it. The problem was that it just took him out of the fight for the crucial few seconds, and Sleben using every ounce of his experience to peak the man, even on low health, and gets